All right, let's continue on to chapter 2 on page 15, and it is called Peace Day. So this time, as I am reading, I want you to be looking for things that happen on Peace Day. What are some things people do? And also, I want you to be looking out for the thunderbolt. What is that? Let's begin. When the family started out, the air was already warm, and dust hung over the busy streets. Sadako ran ahead to the house of her best friend, Chizuko. The two of them had been friends since kindergarten. Sadako was sure they would always be as close as two pine needles on the same twig. So they're that close. Chizuko waved and walked toward her. Sadako sighed. Sometimes she wished that her friend would move a bit faster. "Don't be such a turtle," she shouted. "Let's hurry, so we won't miss anything." "Sadako-chan, go slowly in this heat," her mother called after her. But it was too late. The girls were already racing up the street. Mrs. Sasaki frowned. "Sadako is always in such a hurry to be first that she never stops to listen," she said. Mr. Sasaki laughed and said, "Well, did you ever see her walk when she could run, hop, or jump?" There was pride in his voice because Sadako was such a fast, strong runner. At the entrance to the Peace Park, people filed through the memorial building in silence. On the walls were photos of the dead and dying in a ruined city. The atom bomb, the thunderbolt, had turned Hiroshima into a desert. So what is the thunderbolt? What does it tell us? Okay, so the atom bomb is described like the thunderbolt. Why do you think that is? Maybe because it looks and sounded like thunder and lightning. Let's continue. Sadako didn't want to look at the frightening pictures. She held tight to Chizuko's hand and walked quickly through the building. "I remember the thunderbolt," Sadako whispered to her friend. "There was a flash of 1,000,000 suns. Then the heat prickled my eyes like needles." "How can you possibly remember anything?" Chizuko exclaimed. "You were only a baby then." "Well, I do," Sadako said stubbornly. After speeches by Buddhist priests and the mayor, hundreds of white doves were freed from their cages. They circled the twisted, scarred atomic dome. Sadako thought the doves looked like spirits of the dead, flying into the freedom of the sky. When the ceremonies were over, Sadako led the others straight to the old lady who sold cotton candy. It tasted even better than the last year. The day passed too quickly, as it always did. The best part, Sadako thought, was looking at all the things to buy and smelling the good food. There were stalls selling everything from bean cakes to chirping crickets. The worst part was seeing the people with the ugly whitish scars. The atom bomb had burned them so badly that they no longer looked human. If any of the bomb victims came near Sadako, she turned away quickly. Excitement grew as the sun went down, when the last dazzling display of fireworks faded from the sky. The crowd carried paper lanterns to the banks of the Ota River. Mr. Sasaki carefully lit candles inside of 6 lanterns, one for each member of the family. The lanterns carried names of relatives who had died because of the thunderbolt. Sadako had written Oba-chan's name on the side of her lantern. When the candles were burning brightly, the lanterns were launched on the Ota River. They floated out to sea like a swarm of fireflies against the dark water. That night, Sadako lay awake for a long time, remembering everything about the day. Masahiro was wrong, she thought. The spider had brought good luck. Tomorrow, she would remind him about that. Okay, so now with people at your table, I want you to discuss the things that happened on the peace day, what happened, what kinds of events, and also how did Sadako feel about it? What did she like? What were things that she didn't like? And again, talk about how they described the thunderbolt, especially what does Sadako say to her friend Chizuko. So talk about that in your groups.